Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, let's talk about Bitcoin and how it's facing this final hurdle. Yes, Bitcoin goes through a lot of these every single cycle. So we got this one final one before all-time high. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about some alts as well tonight. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Bitcoin is about the same spot it was yesterday, roughly under 60,000. This morning we climbed a little bit above, we climbed below, right? Overall, we're hovering around $60,000 right now. Today, the US market kind of mixed. It started red, went into green, then it became mixed. Dow was down, Nasdaq's up. Tomorrow, the pre-market's looking barely in the green. And that's because tomorrow and Wednesday, we're going to get some inflation data. Tomorrow will be PPI. So I think that will definitely move markets. But then we have Wednesday, CPI. Now, if one shows that we're going up, the other one should show we're going up. If one's showing we're going down, we should have one going down, right? So let's see what happens tomorrow. I think the markets will be moved by PPI inflation. Now, if inflation goes upwards, that would be bad. If inflation goes downwards, that would be good, right? Obviously, at this point in time, we already have market weakness. We have economic weakness. We do want to see inflation go down because if inflation suddenly turns upwards, it's going to take the ability away from Powell from cutting rates. And that's what we want. We want rates to be cut, right? So let's see what happens tomorrow. It'll be a big day, big day. Now, those that want to opt out, those that know that inflation will always be a thing and there will always be shenanigans. Those that understand that Bitcoin is the ultimate asset to hold, because if you want to opt out of shenanigans, you go with the asset that's created by people, for the people, on the most secure network on the planet, and one that is not controlled by any centralized entity. That's Bitcoin. And if you truly understand that, then you know you just got to load up, right? So this morning I covered Marathon Digital announced that they were going to raise $250 million to buy Bitcoin, right? $250 million, which is a lot because right now, as it stands, they already have close to $1 billion, and they want to add another $250 million to their stockpile. That's absolutely fantastic. And I bet you didn't know, because I didn't know, that every block that they mine, yes, they're one of the biggest miners on the planet. Every block they mine, they stamp it with made in the USA. Interesting enough. But the thing is, like I said, anyone that understands will keep on loading up. So if you thought their 250 million raise to buy more Bitcoin is a lot, what about MicroStrategy's 2 billion, right? Semler Scientific just announced 150 billion as well, and even Metaplanet from Japan is raising 70 million to buy more Bitcoin. This is just a sample of the companies now that have fully embraced Bitcoin. They have a Bitcoin strategy, and they will continue to DC and load up, right? And these are just 4 specific examples. What about the other ones that are doing so and they're not telling you about it? And the ones that have bought, right? So even companies and leaders of companies and Wall Street alike, and institutions and retail investors, the one that understand, they're all loading up at this point, right? Right as we face this like final hurdle. And once we get past it, that's when we're going to get it into a new high territory and move past 6 figures. But in the meantime, what everyone is doing is loading up, including, of course, Blackrock, right? This is a pretty good chart if you look at it. They are the 3rd largest Bitcoin holder in the world, behind Satoshi Nakamoto and Binance. They are 3rd. But if you combine all the ETFs, okay, they have close to what Satoshi has. And they will be surpassing what Satoshi has in the near future. That's not necessarily a good thing. And by the time, this time next year, BlackRock alone could be looking at number 2 spot, or maybe even number 1 spot, right? So again, even though we're cheering all these big boys loading up on Bitcoin, right? Short term, it's good because they're taking it out of circulation. Long term, that's bad. Do we really want BlackRock or Fidelity to have more Bitcoin on hand than Satoshi Nakamoto? The answer is no. We don't want that at all. So that's why we gotta load up while we still can, right? And it's good that a lot of not just the institutions, retail investors are also listening too. Now there are over 1 million Bitcoin addresses now that hold at least 1 Bitcoin. A lot of you guys are in this category. You're a whole coiner. If you have at least 1 Bitcoin, congratulations. Pat yourself on the back, because in the future, just having 1 Bitcoin could make you a millionaire. Okay. But we have over 1 million addresses. That's a lot. But if you think about it, what's 1 million address out of 8 billion? That's nothing. That's nothing. So you are that far ahead of the game if you have at least 1 Bitcoin. And even if you have 0.1 Bitcoin, you're that far ahead in the game, right? So last couple things I want to show you guys. There are a lot of charts that show you where we are in this cycle, right? So what is this final hurdle? Well, there are just a lot of these that relate to breaking our previous high. A lot of times, in fact, almost every single time, when we first break through the previous high, we struggle. We struggle a bit before moving upwards. Okay, obviously we already broke through our previous high of 69,000, but right now we're below, right? We have seen this time and time and time again. Very, very similar through 2 cycles, 3 cycles, right? Here's a zoomed in look at our 2013 to 2016 cycle. Or actually, yeah, 2013 was the top, but it was really the 2016 to 2017 cycle, right? When we first broke through that magical 1,000 mark, then we came back down, and then we kind of went sideways before we headed all the way up to $20,000. This time around, same thing. You can see it's very similar pattern from the bottom, right? We're having a hard time breaking through all-time high, but you know it's going to happen, right? Here's another look at previous cycles, where we are versus those previous cycles and what's coming. And you could see every single time we struggle a bit. We struggle a bit right before the giant parabolic rise that is coming later this year. I believe after we get that very first rate cut, the presidential elections will happen, and that's when we go in that parabolic zone, right? Again, happens every single time. But our boring period, our stale period, our volatility period right before then always happens, and we're just going through. And that's what you consider the final hurdle, right? We're so close. We're so close to breaking through. Now, in terms of Bitcoin, yes, we're at the final hurdle. What about the altcoins, right? What are they going to do? Well, some are going to be helped by the institutions as well. Grayscale says ETFs will expand into new asset types. We already know Ethereum ETFs exist, but what's next? Franklin Templeton eyes Solana ETFs. If Solana ETFs come out, man, that's going to be crazy. Okay, applications are already in. Are we going to get approval this week? Well, not this week. This year? We'll see. If not, next year. So that's fantastic. Also, if you look at Avalanche, you know, their play, or was it Off the Grid console game is, did it come out? I think it already came out. 400,000 transactions, 30,000 players this past week alone. Yeah. That's crazy for a Web3 game, right? 30,000 players, not bad. I believe it's still like kind of testing because it's only on PS5, not on Xbox or anything else. But for a Web3 game, that's pretty darn good, right? And Avalanche is embracing games, like I said. So, you know, they're having Codebase 2, where they're looking for 5 early stage projects, building the next breakout app on Avalanche. Final prize pool of $1 million. Not bad, not bad. So, besides just institutions that could be coming out with ETFs, you know, you still have a lot of these chains that are moving forward, drawing dApps, and a lot of dApps and games are still coming aboard. So, pretty awesome. That's one of the reasons I like Avalanche. What else is there? Polkadot. Not a whole lot of people talk about Polkadot these days, but they are moving to a Polkadot 2 from 1.0, which will reduce entry barriers and resource inefficiencies with agile core time, elastic scaling, and asynchronous backing. Not that anyone understands what those terms mean, but hopefully it builds on top of what Polkadot has right now. And recently, Polkadot and its parachain saw 35% year-over-year growth and a 56% year-over-year transaction growth. Maybe they're coming back. Maybe they're coming back. And then lastly, someone like Celestia out of Injective, they're also coming out with their very first upgrade called Lemongrass. Includes one-click TI interactions with other IBC chains, interchains, and new upgrade mechanisms. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, so a lot of great projects still building, still upgrading, still incentivizing dApp makers and game makers to come aboard. And you also have institutions that are looking to launch ETFs as well. So everything is lining up and looking good for the future. All right, let's do some Q&A. Let's keep it quick tonight because I am feeling quite tired for some reason. There we go. All righty. All right. I see most people are listening to Trump and Elon right now. That's okay. Hopefully you guys come back once that Spaces is done. I'm surprised there's no host. It's just those two. I was listening to it for like 5 minutes. When will CZ be released from prison? I have no idea. Gala Games prediction. I'm neutral on Gala. Drew says 1 Bitcoin, 100 Sol, 500. What's CLSK is what I don't know what that is. I'd rather be listening to George and those two clowns. Well, I'm glad. I'm humbled by that. Thank you. Don says I'm here to listen to anything but that interview. People have some strong opinions. Hey, look at Ethereum. I didn't even notice. Ethereum is up 7% today. 7%, and it's up 8% for the week. It even surpassed Bitcoin, BNB, Solana. Ethereum is making some moves. Maybe the final sell-offs are over. I didn't even notice that. I'm buying more MicroStrategy. Yeah. What did MicroStrategy do today? MicroStrategy is about even. Coinbase went up. Wait, no, these are aftermarket. Let's see. Did MicroStrategy go up or down today? Down a little bit. It's after the split. Nvidia had a very good day today. Coinbase had a negative day. Just picked up a Ledger Flex, pretty neat device, enjoying the show. You know what? I was given a Ledger Flex. And sitting at my desk, it does look cool. I don't know, like there has to be a battery life on there. I don't see a battery bar, but that thing lasts forever. It's using the same kind of screen technology as the Kindle, so it is really cool. I haven't started using it yet, but I think I will give it a whirl soon. Pat Jr., do you think games will do great this bull cycle? And if so, when is a safe time to really start DCing into? You know, like, I don't know, like something like Off the Grid, right? A lot of enthusiasm over something like this, a console game that can bring in millions of users. We need something to lead the revolution, basically, right? In 2021, we had a few like Illuvium and Star Atlas and Gala. I mean, not Gala. Axie Infinity, and you could throw Gala. Like we needed some momentum, right? Right now we don't have any. We need something to kick it off. Otherwise, we just have to wait until altcoin season, which probably like mid to late of next year. That's when we'll see games really start moving. But right now, what we need is some kind of catalyst. That's what I think. Okay, Squeezy guy. Thanks for tuning in. The amazing Azo. Why is MicroStrategy outperforming Bitcoin year to date when they're just buying and holding Bitcoin? Because they get to borrow money like Mara is doing. They get to raise debt, sell notes, and use that money to buy more Bitcoin. So they could actually leverage, right? And Wall Street kind of likes that. Wall Street likes how not only are they buying more and more Bitcoin, they're also developing Bitcoin tools now. So they're quite an interesting company to hold. Ada or Dot, which do you think is a better play? Oh man, that's so tough. That's so tough. I'm not a big fan of either. If I had to choose, Ada. Why did you delete the message at question and call? Because I banned them from the channel. Hey, if I don't feel your vibe, you're out of here. Both crap. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of either one, but if I had to choose, I would choose Ada for sure. Yeah, most people are agreeing with me there. Especially with Dot. I just cover how Dot is going through a 2.0 upgrade, but like, is that really going to change things? Is that really going to incentivize dApp makers to come aboard and utilize Polkadot? Right now, everyone's just EVM. Everyone's just building on layer 2s. Or layer 1s like Sol. Is anyone really trying to build on top of Polkadot? Man, it's tough. It's tough. This space is the most dry, repetitive space I've ever listened in on. Please say Dogecoin, Elon. I listened to like 5 minutes of it. Yeah, I'm not so sure they said a lot. I didn't hear a lot. Maybe I didn't listen to enough. Smart move is to go, this is from Kazan Way. Smart move is to go heavier into smaller group investments rather than spread your bets around to lots of different projects that you might not know much about. Go narrow and deep. I think it depends. I think I agree with you, but it also depends on the timing because when we're in the parabolic stage and when altcoin season is here, literally like so many start pumping, even ones that don't make sense, the ones that are sucky, and they start pumping too, right? That's when logic just goes out the window. I don't know, but overall I agree with you. This is why I still think Bitcoin is the way. Don't go too low with Bitcoin. You always want to have a good amount of Bitcoin for that stability and growth. And big caps and small caps, they have their place, but don't go too heavy into them just yet. What happened to Landshare? What is Landshare? I have no idea what Landshare is. Acura or Lexus? Definitely Lexus. There's no like good Acura car. I don't know what I would consider. Maybe the Integra Type S. I don't know of any other good Acura car right now. NSX was discontinued. When will the day come I can walk in Walmart and use Matic to buy something? Would you want to use a Matic to buy something? That's the real question. How about Nissan Sentra? The new one's okay. It's not bad. It's like a compact sedan. It's not bad. I would much rather have like a Honda Civic over a Sentra. AMG GT, they look very nice. Very nice indeed. Today I saw one at the Mercedes dealership because I had to get my car serviced. I saw it in the showroom. I don't know if it's a GT. I think it was the AMG GT. It was 4 doors. It looked awesome. But it was like $240,000. I just don't know if I could pay that much for Mercedes. And it was a huge car too. It's not like a small little car. It was like a huge car. Oops. Wrong camera angle. All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm tired. Tired today. But I'm never tired of Bitcoin. Stay strong, stay long, my friends, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, We'll see what tomorrow brings with the PPI inflation data. Will that pump the markets or not? Let's see. All right. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.